Assalamu alaikum, my dear friends. How are you? I welcome you here on my training channel. My name is Abdul Khalik. Dear friend, all of us want the two of things in our life. One is that we want to become a successful person. Everybody want to become a successful person. Although it's another thing that what is the meaning of success in your opinion? Somehow, everybody want to become successful person. Success, if at all, it is not accompanied by the happiness, it is futile, it is useless. If a person is so-called successful person but not a happy person at all, so they cannot be called a successful one at all. They are a failure, they are a total failure. So it is very important that not only we are a successful person, rather we are also happy person as well. So dear friends and fellows, the two of these things are very important, and we are going to talk about these two things. And once we have started looking upon the research done by the other people, by several other people, we came to know that there are certain rules which needs to be followed if at all we want to become a happy person, if at all we want to become a successful person. So these rules, there are six of these rules, and almost every researcher on the subject have included, almost every good researcher, those who have conducted the research on these topics, they have come to a conclusion that the six of these things are very important for each and every individual who want to become a successful person and a happy person at the same time. So dear friends, we are going to talk about the six of these things. Simply I shall request you to please subscribe my channel. Now let's look upon the six of those things. First of all, it is the number one thing is identify your values and priorities. Identify values and priorities in your life. It is so important that in the absence of it, maybe we can become a successful person, but we cannot become a happy and a satisfied person. We cannot enjoy the peace of mind. As for the peace of mind is concerned, it is more dependent upon our values than even the so-called success. So dear friends and fellows, never ever underestimate the importance of, never ever overlook or ignore the importance of the values. So these are the sense of what is right and what is wrong. So what I need to do, what is important in my life, it has little or nothing to do with the material object. We may have to sacrifice to protect our values, to uphold our values, but these are very important. So that is the number one thing. Now the number two thing is set clear goals and maintain focus. Setting clear goals and maintaining focus. Now it has a lot to do with the success. The first thing is relating to our peace of mind, to our satisfaction, to our happiness. Now the second thing is that is relating to the success, and it is set clear goals and maintain focus. The two of these things, not only setting the clear goals, but we need to maintain the focus, we need to concentrate upon. So as for the goal setting is concerned, so our goal must be fulfilling the five conditions. The first is it must be very clear, and the second thing is that it must be measurable. Mean, if at all I want to achieve 100,000, if at all I want to earn the degree of PhD or whatever, so it must be measurable. Or if I want to start walking 1 hour a day, so I need to measure it whether I'm reached 30 minutes a day or whatever it is. So we need to measure. It must be measurable. The third condition, it must be attainable. It must be realistic. It must be doable. It must be practicable. Mean, if at all we are seen setting such a big goal that we fail to achieve it, it is much better that our goals are relatively smaller, but we have succeeded in achieving that. So it must be attainable. Now the next and the fourth condition is that it must be time bound. It must be relevant. It must be relevant. The relevance mean that it should bring the goodness, the happiness, the success, and the better in my life and the people around me as well. So the fifth and the last is it must be time bound. What is meant by the time bound? If at all I want to achieve something by the end of 2024, so that is it mean by the time bound. Although the time is not necessarily, it may take a bit of more time, it may take a bit of lesser time, but there must be a time limit against every goal. So the second condition is set clear goals and maintain the focus. Now the third is challenge yourself and step outside your comfort zone. Challenging ourselves and step outside the comfort zone mean comfort zone and not challenging ourselves. That is something bad at all. So why? Because those people who stay inside their comfort zone, they lose all their efficacy, and even the smaller challenges in their life, knocks them down, and they are unable to fight, unable to achieve what they should have achieved, unable to survive, unable to have the tendency. So they people are not persistent. They just lose the battle. So we need to step outside the comfort zone. We need to challenge ourselves. We need to step outside the comfort zone. Rather, it is now called the expanding your comfort zone. Not to keep doing the things in the same manner, in the same manner, in the same manner. Rather, bring the changes in your life. Or calling it in another way. Let's embrace the change. Let's look for the change. So that is number one. That is the third thing. Challenge yourself and step outside your comfort zone. Now the fourth is practice gratitude and self-care. Practicing gratitude and self-care. So why to become grateful despite the fact that I am not having so much in my life, so much is absent in my life? Why to become grateful? As a matter of fact, if at all there is so much absent, then so much is present in my life as well. There are so many good and precious things. I may have been taking them for granted. I don't need to do that. I need to become grateful. And if at all I'm taking it for granted, I may lose it earlier. I may lose it earlier. And once I lose it, once somebody loses it, then only they will realize how important it was in their life. So I think prior to the expiry of that thing, prior to losing anything else, anything as precious as our own life, as precious as our own health, as precious as our own good look, as precious as certain other thing, certain material object. So I think that we need to become grateful that I am possessing so much, Alhamdulillah. Let's focus upon what we are possessing. Let's try to make better and even better use of it so that we could achieve the rest of the things as well. So we also need to become grateful because although I have several problems in my life, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has protected me from many other problems as well. So keeping in view all that, I think that I must be grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that I am free of many other problems which so many of the people in the world are suffering. So that is the fourth is practice gratitude and self care. Self care is also important, and this is also combined in the rule number four. And self care, why? What is this self care? I think we need to take care of our life. We need to take care of our health. We need to provide ourselves with a proper sleep of 7 to 8 hours. We need to provide ourselves with a proper nutrition, and we need to take care of our grooming, etc., etc. We need to somehow manage our stress level. So we need to we need to practice the gratitude on the one hand, and then of course we need to take care of ourselves. Now the fifth is build and nurture positive relationship. Building and nurturing a positive relationship. Positive relationships are very very important. Never have a toxic relationship with anybody, but positive relationships are very 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 important. So never ignore the importance of the positive relationships. Always look for the positive relationship. Making of the positive relationships, nurturing of the positive relationships, it is so much so much so much important. So that is build and nurture positive relationship. Because if at all we are having so much of the money but we don't have the friend, we don't have the relationship, I think we will not be satisfied at all. So build and nurture positive relationship is the rule number 5. Now there is a rule number of 6, and this rule number 6 and the last rule is commit to lifelong learning and personal growth. Commit to lifelong learning and personal growth. Is it important? It is very, very important. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, seek knowledge from cradle to grave. So, seek knowledge from cradle to grave. I think that we need to learn as much as we can, because learning and personal growth, these are, very much relevant, very much interdependent. Nobody can ever grow on a consistent basis without learning, without the continuous learning, without the learning throughout their life. So I think we must keep learning, we must keep learning, we must keep learning. What to learn? The information, the knowledge, the skill, these all things which are applicable in my life, which I can use and benefit from. So we need to keep learning for the sake of personal growth, continuous learning, commit to lifelong learning and personal growth. So these are the 6 things which will ensure, these are the 6 rules actually, which will ensure that everybody who practices all of these 6 things will be able to lead a happy and a successful life. That's all from me. Thank you.